As Akwa Ibom people join other Nigerians to celebrate 17 years of uninterrupted democracy in the nation, members of the 6th Assembly have felicitated the state governor for his strides in the past year. Recommendations were made by the lawmakers during proceedings on the floor of the House. Udoaikom reports.
Leading other members in conveying the wishes of the legislators to the President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, and the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Udom Emmanuel, during plenary, the Speaker of the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Barrister Onofiok Luke, said there was an urgent need for Nigerians to think of what they can contribute to overcoming the challenges of the 17 years of uninterrupted democracy in Nigeria.
Use this occasion to appreciate the efforts of His Excellency the Governor in delivering the dividends of democracy, as evidenced in the number of projects undertaken by the Governor in the last 1 year. We equally pray God to give him the grace to do more, as there is still more work to be done. To our fellow people, we acknowledge the challenges you are faced with. As a house, we promise the sincerity of purpose in our dealings with you.
The members took turns to wish that democracy would continue to blossom and thrive in the country.
In 1999, the government of Nigeria witnessed a return to a democratic setting.
For the rest, for so many valuable projects he has done,
I also want to salute his initiative in industrialization.
This lady and Lord is very proud to be associated with the achievements of the President's administration.
I want to thank him for playing the role of a good father.
Thank God for the little effort that we have made. The presidency has decided to have a joint border patrol thing with Cameroon. And
yes, thank you very much. Governor is doing well, especially in the area of road development, and my constituency, the Honorable State constituency, will benefited, because he told us when he came for campaigns that he will construct the access road to the Paramount Rulers Palace within 100 days, and that has been done.
Legislators, however, drew the attention of the Akwa Ibom State government and relevant agencies to some pressing needs of their constituents.
One is Akano Road, Tropicana Road, that is Apparent Road, from opening the bus stop, linking the Tropicana.
Most importantly, the situation with what used to be the government technical college Koradai, which has been overgrown with weeds and the equipment are wasting away. We want the government to come in and bring back the technical school and whatever they want to add to the technical school. That's what we want, is our prayer.
There is a slippery hill between 18 and local government and local government. That village is Ikolibo in Isribo and the other side of 89. That hill has claimed so many lives.
in Umbo we have the much touted Ibaka deep sea port, and we are still waiting for action to be taken where that dream to be turned to a physical form. It has remained a dream for a long time, and we want to see it physically.
Udoaikom reporting.
Meanwhile, the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has confirmed the appointment of Mr. Francis Udofa Okon as the Auditor General of local governments in the state. This follows the recommendations made by the Committee on Judiciary, Justice, Human Rights and Public Petitions. Again, Udoaikom.
The House dissolved from plenary into a committee to consider the recommendations of the Committee on Judiciary, Justice, Human Rights and Public Petitions on the screening of Mr. Francis Udofa Okon as the Auditor General for local governments. On receipt of the approval of members that the appointment of Mr. Okon be ratified and confirmed, the Speaker, Barrister Onofiok Luke, commended the committee for submitting the report within the time frame. 4 bills were also read for the first time, a bill for a law to provide for control of rent for premises, sponsored by the member representing Uruan State Constituency, Mr. Nekan Basi, and a bill for a law to provide for regulations of maritime sector operations and fixed offshore oil and gas production facilities, sponsored by the member representing Esereket and Ibono Constituency, Mr. Usoro Akwanuso. Other bills read for the first time included a proposed amendment of the Akwa Ibom State Town and Country Planning Law, sponsored by Mr. Usoro Akwanuso, as well as a bill for a law to be called Real Property Charge, also sponsored by Mr. Usoro Akwanuso and 15 others.
This is encouraging, and then we have so many in our meeting. We believe that God will, and we have, we believe that God will, and the resources on our part coming for us to be able to form committee work. Then we'll be able to make sure that these bills are passed expeditiously to make provision for the betterment and good governance of the state.
Other matters brought before the House included a call by the House Leader, Saudo Kirianakwan, requesting the recognition of hitherto unrecognized villages in Oruwanam and the life-threatening landslide and gully erosion at Ini, brought before the House as a matter of urgent public importance by the Chief Whip of the House of Assembly, Mr. Emmanuel Basi.
And I've made the pictures for all of you members here to look at the road the way it is now. It remains very few inches for this road to cut and take the whole road out.
Udwa Kekong reporting.
In a bid to curb road rage and improve on the quality of drivers, the state government is to establish a driving institute to regulate the operations of driving schools in Akwa Ibom. The Commissioner for Transport, Dr. Godwin Tugude, who made this known while addressing proprietors of driving schools, said the institute will be manned by select vehicle inspector officers. Yano Paul has details.
Dr. Godwin Tugude informed the operators of driving schools that the Driving Institute will be manned by the VIOs, vehicle inspection officers, to keep them abreast of government plans, stressing that they have to register with the Ministry of Transport for collaboration. The Commissioner said such registration will assist in authenticating driver's licenses, adding that some holders of driver's license in the state have not gone through driving schools. He said after the registration and inspections, driving schools that do not meet set standards will be shut down by government and advised to operators to ensure that the schools are regularly equipped. Dr. Ntugude promised to look into issues raised by driving schools operators such as issuance of learners' permits, low patronage in the schools, extortion by transport task force, as well as FRSC marshals and the duration of trainee drivers' education.
This ministry, the midwife for all of the activities that the driving schools are supposed to do. This ministry is a regulatory body on behalf of the government of Akwa Ibom State.
He, however, applauded Koko Driving School in Eket and Faith Driving School in Uyo for emerging the best equipped when the committee visited them. While emphasizing on personal hygiene by drivers and proper training before recommendation for driver's licenses, Dr. Ntugude said the Driving Institute will be manned by the VIOs.
But when that school, that driver's institute comes on board, you now have where you meet, whether every Monday, you go there, like that. So that immediately something is about to happen. They see that nip in the board. The government is for the businessmen. You are the reason why government is there. When you are not there, no government can say that it's working.
The Secretary of Driving Schools Union in the state, Mr. Andrew Raituk, and some of the members thanked the state government for partnering them, but appealed to the Commissioner to address complaints of harassment by members of task force.
For example, you have a son or a daughter who have not been to a driving school. They will go and collect the air. Yes, killing innocent people here. That's what's happening. You can take anybody by the air, start driving in the private school, start driving on the highway.
After they leave the driving school, they need a certain period for proficiency, which is when we will need not to have everybody go to buy a put in your car.
Yagin Opor reporting.
10 students from Ikorabia clan in Oborokara local government area studying in the University of Uyo and the Akwa Ibom Polytechnic Ikorosura have benefited from a sponsorship program sponsored by the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Technical Matters and Due Process, Engineer Uforebon. The beneficiaries of this scholarship were drawn from engineering, computer science, crop science, psychology, and political science. The report.
The event was held at the Fidal Town Hall, Ikorabia Ward 1, Oborokara local government area. Each beneficiary received 100,000 naira. Presenting the money, Engineer Bong said that the scholarship program was in fulfillment of his promise to youth of the area studying in tertiary institutions. Engineer Bong lauded the state governor, Mr. Udom Gabriel Emmanuel, for making education one of his topmost priorities, noting that it is the bedrock of any society as it brings development. Engineer Bong advised beneficiaries to remain focused and study harder to maintain their grade point average in their chosen field, while encouraging others yet to benefit from the program to strive to meet the yardstick and hope to be included in the next batch.
One thing I will not be able to share one unity for this kind of thing, because people will not know that we don't have a future in Ikorabia clan. There are many people that would have been greater than me, and maybe before it can make no problem. So that is why I have to support such people.
The member representing Ikorabia State Constituency in the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly, Mr. Idonson Tekwere, while commending the sponsor, urged parents not to relent in their efforts in giving their children qualitative education. Advised the student to shun acts capable of tarnishing the image of Oborokara local government and the entire state, but strive to greatness and pledge to support educational programs whenever the need arises.
And I also ask all your sons and daughters, count on us. If you have issues and can't do with academics, education, count on us.
The chairman of the scholarship committee, Professor Mare Ikro, expressed the belief that the selection process will serve as a motivation for others, appreciated the beneficiaries on meeting the criteria. The managing director of IBOMPA, Dr. Victor Udo, the former chairman of Oborokara local government, Mr. Patrick William, village head of Ikorodawa, Chief Ifyong Tekpere, thanked Engineer Uforebon for fostering a legacy for others to follow. Responding on behalf of the beneficiaries, Ms. Mboridem Emmanuel, a student of psychology in the University of Uyo, assured the sponsor that the money will be used judiciously and pray for God's abundant blessings for him and family.
We the students of Oborokara, especially Ikorabia clan, immediately come on because most of us, school is not easy and we need finances.
A meeting of all staff of the News and Current Affairs Directorate of the Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation will hold today at the AKBC Corporate Headquarters, 3 Utodoma Avenue in Uyo. A statement from the Office of the Director General indicates that staff on annual and casual leave are also expected to attend as issues affecting the overall well-being of the corporation will be discussed. The meeting holds at 11 o'clock this morning. Staff are advised to be seated on time before the arrival of the DG. Up ahead, St. Patrick's College Calabar Alumni Association rounds off 43rd National Executive Council meeting in Uyo. Also, Ibionibom community in the University of Uyo fits Vice Chancellor Professor Anefio Esian. In a moment, stay. watching AKBC AM News, and I'm Samuel Udofia. The 43rd meeting of the National Executive Council of the St. Patrick's College Calabar Alumni Association ended at the weekend in Uyo. Apart from members of the Board of Trustees and the National Executive Committee, the meeting brought together delegates from the Calabar, Lagos, Owerri, Port Harcourt and Uyo branches of the association. The rest of the story is presented.
Addressing the old boys, known as patricians, the president of the Alumni Association, Chief Charles Ifeanyi, requested the approval of the council to name the St. Patrick's College Library after a 1953 graduate of the college, the late Ntoi Lawrence Ekong Etagbo, in memory of his exemplary life and passion for the college. Chief Ifeanyi appealed to the different branch executives to rekindle the zeal and the spirit of comradeship that has always existed among patricians.
The exemplary life and passion for the college. My consultations in this regard confirm that the present college library will be an appropriate memento that will always keep his memory alive. If we agree, then the college principal will then liaise with our Calabar branch executive to implement this resolution or this agreement.
Welcoming the delegates to Uyo, the chairman of the Uyo branch of the association, Chris Nkang, said the branch has been reordered to have a membership that is alive to its responsibilities, has a sense of communal presence, and views issues with dignified approach. The branch chairman, who is also the deputy national publicity secretary of the association, prayed for the merging of the various chapters in Akwa Ibom under one existing Uyo branch, and also harped on the need for a per capita levy on branch members as against the current practice of levying branches.
Without prejudice to financially capable patricians who may want to and who ought to contribute heavily to the national affairs of the association, we want to humbly align with the resolution of the Port Harcourt branch on the need for a per capita levy on branch members.
There were reports by the different branches, but at the end of the day, the issue of per capita levy on members was upheld. The naming of the library after Ntoi Etagbo was approved, and some vacant positions in the National Executive Council were filled. Mr. Dennis Okoro of the Lagos branch and Professor Trench Aribia of the Uyo branch were named National Vice Presidents, while Mr. George Ukong of the Calabar branch was named National Financial Secretary. Responding on behalf of the rest, Professor Trenchat Ibia promised to live up to the expectations of patricians at home and abroad.
On behalf of the other vice presidents, and particularly Mr. Dennis Okoro, who worked very hard, I want to thank NEC for bringing us on board, and we do our best to fly the flag of the